What's up? This is your host Non-Fungible TC, Non-Fungible today and Non-Fungible tomorrow. And if you are looking for daily equities, traditional market news, crypto news, NFT news, this is the channel where you like and subscribe to get daily content. So this news just came out. White House releases first ever comprehensive framework for responsible development of digital asset. So today's title is Why I Was Wrong. Okay. I wasn't wrong at the end of my video yesterday where I said the dumping hasn't really commenced when I did my live stream. And right after that, when the US market woke up, Ethereum is now at 1,400-ish. Okay. And one of the reasons which I will share today, which has something to do with witching, okay, witches, okay, so you gotta watch out for witches, and you gotta watch out for White House. They just came out with this comprehensive framework which is gonna shape the cryptocurrency environment and pave the way for CBDC. And the only thing that I think I got wrong was that I thought Ethereum was gonna be deflationary in a sense that it's gonna be deflationary, right? But it seems that ever since the merge, the Ethereum supply has increased by 331, which basically means that right now it is not very ultrasound. It means that the network isn't really being fully utilized, and therefore there's not a lot of burning in happening. Okay, gray right now is at 5, which is quite low considering what we just had, which is a milestone yesterday. So anyways, guys, let's go through the White House release and why you gotta be careful of this, okay? So, the White House basically talks about an introduction of this release and also how the President Biden came out with an executive order, on ensuring responsible development of digital asset. And then he says that there are 9 reports submitted to the president from different type of parties. And therefore, this is the outcome. So the first thing that they want to say is that digital asset pose meaningful risk for consumer investors and businesses, okay? So they're saying that these are very highly volatile. And at the same time, a lot of sellers commonly mislead consumers about digital asset features and expected returns. And there's a lot of non-compliance with applicable law and regulations remain widespread, okay? So they're saying that one study found out that almost a quarter of digital coin offering has disclosed a transparency problem like plagiarized document or fake promises and also guaranteed returns. So the first thing they have is that they're gonna probably do more regulation, and at the same time you do see the SEC is trying to make people to report tokens in a more easily way, and also the SEC has this narrative that they believe that a lot of these cryptocurrency are in fact securities and should be regulated under them. Okay, so they are trying to aggressively pursue investigations and enforcement actions against unlawful practices in the digital asset space, so regulation. They and also CFTC, which I'm gonna cover very shortly, and FCC is gonna do something together for regulation. They are going to redouble the effort to monitor consumer complaints and also to reinforce against unfair, deceptive, abusive practices, address current emerging risks, collaborate to address the risks, and share data on consumer complaints, okay? So basically, it's kind of like consolidating all the resources that the US government has in order to regulate the space and also in the narrative of protecting consumers, right? Because to be honest, a lot of tokens are out there. A lot of them are compliant with law, especially maybe the US law and stuff like that, and therefore they see the need to regulate. So they want to promote access to safe, affordable financial services, okay? So roughly 7 million of Americans have no bank account, and another 24 million rely on costly non-bank services like check cashing and stuff like that. So I think what they want to do is they want to use innovative technology. But whether this innovative technology is blockchain, we'll have to see, because they're talking about instant payment system, right? And also they talk about create a federal framework to regulate non-bank payment providers, align payment practices globally and stuff like that, and also explore technical and social technical discipline and behavioral economics to ensure that the digital asset economy are designed to be usable, inclusive, and equitable and accessible by all. So a while back, I did talk about what if in the future countries would launch their own blockchain, right? And they'll also make it so easily accessible. And it seems like we are on these paths. Fostering financial stability, okay, they want to make sure it's stable. I do want to point out a thing that, stability and protecting consumer does not mean they want to protect your bags. It's a two different thing. You are buying cryptocurrency, decentralized cryptocurrency, or these crypto, at your own risk, really, right? So the government, the best way to protect people actually is to make things centralized, everything under on the government's control, everything traceable, everything KYC. See, identify, track, analyze emerging strategic risks. Okay, identify cyber vulnerability. Right. Advancing responsible innovation. So some different type of agenda, and then I think and reinforcing the global leadership and competitiveness in terms of digital asset. So one thing I do want to share with you, and also fighting illicit finance. Okay. Which means more regulation, penalties for unlicensed money transmitting and stuff like that. Okay. So one thing I do want to share with you is the CBDC. Okay, so a while back they talked about CBDC and then they kind of took a pause at it, right? But now what they're saying is that a US CBDC, digital form of the US dollar, has the potential to offer significant benefits. Okay, so they want to kind of push this CBDC narrative at the end. Okay. So what it could mean is that stable coins in the future might have to be compliant, right? It has to be compliant with it if the US government wants to use the existing system. And if they do not want to use the existing system, will they use blockchain or innovation technology to create their own CBDC and to take over the market share, which could pose some risk to the current stablecoins. Okay. So as you can see, nothing really concrete right now besides saying that, hey, they are consolidating all of the resources, more regulation, more consumer protection, and things like that, okay? But as you can see in the last few days, SEC, Gary Gensler, he mentioned that Ethereum could be classified, like he didn't say Ethereum, but he said proof of stake cryptocurrency could be classified as securities, right? Right after the Ethereum merge. So we really do see the US government's narrative is, becoming more and more clear, okay? Which I will talk about shortly. So the next point today, why do you have to watch out for witches? Okay, so September, as I said, is the worst day for cryptocurrency, and also is the worst month, and also worst month for equities and traditional markets. And there is something which is called Quadruple Witching, which happens in September. It is a date on which contract for index futures, stock futures, index options, and stock options expire simultaneously. So simply put, it is a it refers to a date with a lot of these indexes and futures that expire, and it happens every quarter on the 3rd of Friday of March, June, September, and December. So this switching is actually happening in this week, right? I think. So these days you'll witness heavy trading volume, partly because of the offsetting of existing futures and option contracts that are profitable, right? Investors may take advantage of the increased volume and arbitrage opportunity that result on quadruple witching, and it does not necessarily translate to increased volatility in the market. So basically what this means is that a lot of smart money, they rely on futures trading, and a lot of these futures are expiring in September or in this week and stuff like that, and a lot of them have to close the expire options and futures in order for bookkeeping purposes. So usually you will see a lot of volatility in September, and definitely I do think that one of the reasons why the market tanked is that next week is actually the FOMC meeting, right? And then usually those days will be most volatile. So I think smart money, traditional market, because right now the tank is not just cryptocurrency, it's the whole market, right? The Nasdaq is down, the S&P is down. The reason for that is that smart money is closing the positions, okay? And closing position basically could mean they are selling, they are kind of writing off, losses and stuff like that. And therefore you do see this huge dump. Okay, but after they close the position, once everything is done, once all the external factors are over, once the FOMC volatility is over, could we do see a rally, right? Because right now everything is pain, everything is good. But I did say yesterday that the midterms are coming for the US and they have to do some sort of political happy stuff. So they might, not 100%, but they might do something related to a midterm rally. So a lot of people are saying that, hey, September worst month, and then October we'll see things better. Okay, so we are in the middle of September, so bear with it. If you're holding a lot of stuff, your bags are down. Any time when you really sell, you basically lose it, right? You basically took the loss, right? Only unless, and also right now you're not losing yourself. Everyone is losing at the same time as you, especially in these times where smart money is closing the positions, right? So I would say, just wait, okay? If you look at traditional market, look at this, right? US sales unexpectedly rose 0.3 in August. So it means the market is not weak, okay? Jobless claim fell for the 5th consecutive week to a seasonally adjust 213,000, okay? Manufacturing production edged 0.1 So people are working remotely, during COVID. Okay, Manhattan workers are expected to return to office. Okay, World Bank seeing risk of global recession in 2023. So not this year, right? Global recession, right? We're not talking about local recessions, but I do think that Europe is gonna have a very cold winter. Okay, so what I do want to say to you is that I do think that the Fed is going to be hawkish in the FOMC meeting because of all of these data, because the economy isn't, as down as bad, right? Even though with the Fed saying, with the SEC saying that Ethereum could, hinting that it could be a security, it dropped by 8%. It didn't, drop uncontrollably. So it is holding quite well. And this is just US. Look at Asia. Asia numbers came out today, okay? Data beating expectations. So what happened is that so I think the retail sales was better last month. And also, yes, retail sales, industrial production for August beat estimate, actually quite high. Retail sales increased by 5.4 in August, the same period last year. And also the forecast was 3.5. So it kind of says that the economy is now recovering. So, but the reason why, the market was falling this morning is because when the market is, recovering, if the market is positive, it could mean that the government has to raise interest rate in order to cause the market to go back down, right? Because they want to control, the spending, right? The demand, right? So I do think that lots of pain to be seen, especially with this month. And I was wrong. And there's also one thing I was wrong is that yesterday I said there isn't a lot of interesting news that would tank the market. But indeed, there was a few interesting news that would tank the market. So basically, retail sales kind of slightly tanked the market. And also these different type of FEC, CTFC, speaking did tank the market, especially for cryptocurrency, especially Ethereum. And now we'll go to the reason why. So yesterday I shared this from Blockwork. So this is from Chain Analysis. The Global Crypto Adoption Index, right? So actually number one is Vietnam. The second is Philippines. So you do see, and also the fourth is India, right? And only fifth is United States. So what you could see is that a lot of actually developing countries, right, is actually embracing cryptocurrency. And one of the reasons for that is probably there's not a lot of banking systems and things are probably quite remote, but they do have access to mobile phone. And actually number three is Ukraine, which is probably because of the war, and they need like a cryptocurrency to help them because they have no access to the banking and stuff like that. So it really gives you a perspective. In order for cryptocurrency to go back to previous high, you need countries with liquidity, probably developed countries, financial centers countries, to really invest in the space, to pour money into the space. So if the money right now, and also adoption is in a lot of developing countries, and also countries that are trying to evade sanctions, we do still see that liquidity is not going to be enough. So I do want to share with you that only until when you see a lot of maybe European countries or more developed countries that have maybe inflation isn't as serious, that has liquidity to spare, and you see that the adoption goes up, then maybe that is the time when we see a bull run, or that's when the market will recover. Because this is all geographically influential, right? Do you think these developing countries have a lot of liquidity to pour into the cryptocurrency market? Or are they actually just using the technology to kind of, enhance the imperfections of the local banking system or maybe the financial system, right? Really interesting to think about, and also evade sanctions, right? And if they are evading sanctions, and with what I just said, the White House is going to do a lot of regulations and stuff like that, and also they have banned a lot of Russian wallets as well, could that cause some problem with decentralized cryptocurrency? I don't have the answer. I'm just here to let you think about it. You could feel free to comment below your answer. So cryptocurrency market cap 962 billion, decrease right now. Bitcoin at 19,833, Ethereum at 1,474. Yesterday it was at a high at 1,600, so it dropped by $200. So that is quite high. Look at these dumps, right? In the last 24 hours, Ethereum has a 7.2% dump, while the other altcoin did not have a 7.2% dump, which basically means that this is an Ethereum standalone dump. This could be by the rumors, sell the news, but it could also be because of SEC, which I will share shortly. So market cap, we kind of know that stablecoin market cap would dump basically because of the market losing money. But at the same time, you see this uptick, which basically means that people are holding stablecoins. Smart money is holding stablecoins, guys. They are waiting for a lower entry. Look at the sea of red. Look at this, Bitcoin dominance going back up, but still not at its previous high. Ethereum dominance went down, stablecoin dominance went up. And look at this Nansen, right? Hot tokens. The hottest token, the first one day, is USDC and Bitcoin and USDC and DAI, which is a stablecoin. CETH is actually quite low, and also Ape token. So basically what it means is that after yesterday, basically people sold Ethereum, move it back to Bitcoin, sold Ethereum, move it back to stablecoins, okay? Yeah. So look at this. El Salvador, Bitcoin loving president to run for re-election. Okay, Ethereum liquidations top 127 million amid post-merge volatility. Big firm dominate post-merge Ethereum validation. So there is also a discussion now whether Ethereum is decentralized enough, and also Ethereum proof of work tokens gets off a rocky start. So it was trading around 20 something ish dollars, right? And this is the most important news for today, which relates to the White House news. Gary Gensler of SEC said proof of stake asset could be securities. Okay, so he had this speech yesterday. So this was yesterday. He's saying is that because proof of stake basically means that you stake your tokens and relying on the effort of other people, you generate yield, and this satisfies the Howey test. So this is also the reason why Ethereum dumped. So if you look at the market, right, you'll also have to look at other proof of stake tokens, right? Right now, the second largest proof of work token is actually Dogecoin. So are you going to put your money in Dogecoin, or are you going to put in Bitcoin, right? So that's why if this is the case, right, if those proof of stake tokens have to be under the regulations of SEC, well, first of all, I want to say that the next hard fork or make technical upgrades that's going to happen is Cardano, right? But Cardano is actually a proof of stake token. So as a smart money, especially with the FOMC next week, are you going to put your money into these proof of stake tokens, or are you going to put it into proof of work token? Which pretty much explains why the money is going to Bitcoin and also in stable coins. It makes sense, right? This is how smart money is thinking. CFTC, okay, another government agency already preparing to be crypto watchdog, okay? So the chairman says to the US senators, so they are going to be looking at the cryptocurrencies. So they are gonna take a more active role in the regulations, okay? So which means that we are gonna expect more and more rules and regulations for cryptocurrency. So Cointelegraph, yes, I just said Dogecoin becomes second largest proof of work cryptocurrency. Nothing really exciting, but another downward pressure possibly if this is a huge amount of money. Celsius is requesting permission to sell off its stablecoins, right? So they are having some stable to probably sell, but stable coins, downward pressure, not really, but if it's only crypto, then it might sell, downward pressure. So it really depends on whether they're gonna sell crypto as well, okay? Really, market's quite shaky. Okay, let us go to NFT news. I think we're done with crypto. Bearish, but we still have October to look up to, right? Crypto news, different brands, collaboration, blah, blah, blah. Wearable integrate immutable X for gasless and carbon neutral NFTs. Which is a layer 2 solution. So okay, Goblin Town NFTs are now down 94% from all-time high. What happened, right? So it really shows you how volatile this NFT asset is. But if you go to LFG news, they shared about something I shared yesterday, and I do think one of the biggest news is that Epic Games, creator of Fortnite, launched the first NFT game on the Epic Games Store called Blanco Block Party. So Blanco Block Party is a project that has been out for some time. They have sold NFTs before, but now I think it's officially launched on Epic Games Store. So people are making it a big news, okay? So OpenSea will likely add NFTs from Optimism, Arbitrum, Binance, and Avalanche, okay? Could this be a narrative, right? If this is a narrative, it's time to be prepared, right? And also, I do want to share with one big news is that there were rumors saying that Yuga Labs is actually going to drop an NFT collection by the end of the year called Mecha Apes to raise around 50 million, okay? But then the founder said it's fake news, okay? So people shut it down. But however, people are speculating that the Ragami-san 10K TF shop could be related to this rumor. So in September 9, around 7 days ago, Ragami-san posted this video and say mech versus kaiju. So it's like mech something versus kaiju, which I think is Kaiju King. So could this be related? And actually this is going to come out today, Friday, September 16. So we're just waiting, right? And we'll see if there's any news about this. But I won't be surprised if it's related because Beepo, who's the founder of this, actually is quite friend with Yuga Labs, right? So today, Mac Online, blah 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 blah. So no news yet. Okay, so we'll see. Right, later we'll see news. So definitely check it out. 10K FTF. But that's it, guys. If you like the content, remember to like and subscribe. If you do think the White House or witches are gonna flood your bags, feel free to comment below. This is your host, Non-Fungible TC. Have a happy Friday and a great weekend. Signing out.